Hello everybody and welcome to February 2020. Just like January, February brings us a new set of worries. This month it's coronavirus, last month it was the bushfires, next month who knows what it'll be. The coronavirus is obviously number one on the news worldwide at the moment, and for good reason. And the reason is that the epidemic of the coronavirus outbreak in Wuhan is rapidly spreading to other continents. And though the reported cases are still currently low in most countries, a lot of people acknowledge how highly contagious this virus is and how quickly it can spread in the asymptomatic period. So just in front of me at the moment, I have the live update on outbreak.cc of the cases confirmed. It also includes deaths and the seriousness of the cases. So I was looking at this earlier this morning, and the death count has stayed the same. The serious case has gone up by over several hundred. It was in the 2000s this morning, and now it's about 5 hours later. So that proves just how quickly things can complicate with this virus. Now that said, a lot of people are panicking, and then at the same time we have the media telling us not to panic. And usually you should be doing the opposite of what the media is telling you to do, which means you should be panicking. But in this case, I don't think that panicking will accomplish anything. But I just want to distinguish panicking from being alert and being aware of what's happening. So even though there are only 13 confirmed cases in Australia at the moment, some of the more Asian centralized locations of Sydney are completely dead. Now, just consider the media for a second and all of those biting headlines that draw us to want to know more information about the coronavirus. Obviously, they use these headlines to provoke us into clicking and reading, which means that they ultimately get their money. So it's important for you to make a personal distinction between what is actually happening and what the news is telling you is happening.
My old man keeps saying to me, you should talk about Julian Assange on your channel more. And I've had to say to him, Dad, I don't want to have my videos fucking just thrown at the back of YouTube. That's a sort of a weird sort of thing to have to say, even though I like talking about serious subjects. But anyway, I'm going to shut the fuck up.
Right now, left, right and center, we see that YouTube and China and all other kinds of platforms are cracking down on a lot of people trying to speak out against the virus. Also at the same time, we have censorship all over the internet revolving around the virus. Now a good example of this would be Reddit. The Wuhan virus flu subreddit is being very heavily censored, and we also have mainstream media telling us not to worry and that this is not as bad as the flu, or this isn't as bad as SARS. But if this really wasn't a situation that we should be concerned about, then why are we censoring things on the internet? Why are we censoring information from people?
Please don't worry about the virus. We have the government, we have the local people, we have the hospitals. So don't worry about anything.
That's it. Big smile. Everybody's happy.
I did a little bit of research on the coronavirus the other day, and I think I identified the particular strain it is, known as a beta coronavirus. But when I googled this term, I was surprised to find that there was barely any recent information on beta coronavirus at all, which indicated to me that this rabbit hole of information surrounding the coronavirus is actually extremely frighteningly shallow. We are given very, very, very surface information only. whilst being told not to worry. Now, the reason why I think it actually is important not to panic and not to worry so much is because infections and viruses respond to stress hormones in aggravating ways. So the more you panic and stress and worry about the coronavirus, if you actually happen to contract it, chances are that all the stress hormones running through you will worsen the situation. That's different from being prepared and being aware. So being aware is keeping up to date with what's going on in your country, where these cases are and how severe they are, but also be mindful of public places and keep hand sanitizer on you. These are the obvious things that every YouTuber is saying right now. But one thing I'd like to offer as somebody that works at a fruit shop, I would like to suggest to not only keep your environment clean and keep your habits clean, but also keep your diet clean. Vitamin C, B12, magnesium, these are important things you should be pumping your body with right now, because while the news is saying that this is nothing to worry about and it's not as bad as the flu, there is a kernel of truth to that. This is acting like a bad flu. It's very similar to me. The way I see it is it looks very similar to pneumonia, and pneumonia can also kill people and give them complications when they have diabetes, or if they're the elderly, or if they're very young, much like the coronavirus. So it's a matter of immune system strength. One of the problems with our modern system, as sanitary as it is it prevents us from developing strong immune systems, which means that when pandemics like this come along, a lot of people are going to end up sick. But there is a difference between getting sick with the coronavirus, having a serious complication of the coronavirus, and dying because of the coronavirus. Now, if you pay attention to your health, if you stay relaxed, and if you do everything you can to clear your mind and clear your body of bad chemicals, bad energies when you're sick, you have a good chance of recovering without complications. Just remember that China is a different culture from us. Wuhan is a different kind of city. The kinds of places we live in Australia are far different from them. They live in very close quarters with one another, very populated cities, mostly apartments, very high pollution rates. In Sydney, we are much luckier to have sparse properties, very large, sprawling areas, and also we have access to better quality food and better quality air in this country. So as worried as the coronavirus may make you, remember that you are extremely fortunate to be an Australian. This is what is frustrating, and when I say Australian, I mean anybody that is blessed to live in this country at the moment, regardless of nationality, race, whatever. Anybody who is in Australia during this point in time is very, very lucky. And I can tell you that because I know quite a bit about the produce, the backgrounds of the produce that we eat.
Fake cures or preventative measures that people are posting about on social media, don't take them seriously. Some people are posting that you can take a mix of oregano oil, vitamin C and salt water, that you should drink bleach. Obviously, you don't want to be doing things like that.
Most of us are now well aware of the fact that the world right now feels like a merry-go-round, spinning faster and faster with every revolution. And the only thing we can do at this point in time is grab on and hope that we make it through. Chances are within the next 10 years there's going to be a lot of tragedy striking us, and we need to be ready for that, not only physically but also emotionally. Regardless of what happens in this world within the next few years, we are mortal creatures. Some days we have to face our own death. Now let's make sure at this point in time, instead of focusing on dying, we are focusing on having an interesting life experience. In many ways, we are fortunate to witness these incredible global events unfold. And so we don't need to panic. Simply sit back, stay calm, and watch the show. Thank you and have a nice day.